I got out into the field on February 9th. So I was in MTC. I got into MTC on January 27th and got out February 9th. And let's see, who picked me up at the airport? I was alone. I was a solo missionary, and I thought it'd be scary, but it wasn't scary. But at the same time, it was kind of like, oh, like if something bad happens, then nobody will know about it, right? But fortunately, in the plane, I sat next to someone who was the older brother of a missionary who had served in my home ward in Korea, and they were. I think I'm comfortable sharing their name. They were the Swains, and they had gone to the same international school that I had gone to when they were younger, because their dad was the mission president of Seoul West Mission or something back in the day. And so it was funny because I was sitting right next to. I was a single missionary. That sounds weird. I was a missionary that didn't have a companion, and sitting right next to me was a person who had not only lived in Korea but had gone to the same school as me, but he was a member, a return missionary, and so it was like having a very solid companion right next to me, and so it didn't feel really that I was alone or anything. So it was nice. Got to the airport. The senior missionaries picked me up, Elder Gillum and Sister Gillum, and they drove me to the mission home. I mean, honestly, the first 3 months of the mission, I was very kind of pumped up by the MTC and kind of my desire to serve, so that I think the first 3 months kind of went by pretty quick. I was working really hard with my trainer, and at the same time, I was very prideful. I thought my trainer wasn't. Oh man, I feel really embarrassed talking about this, but I I thought in that mindset, I thought I was like a better missionary than my trainer, and then I was like, I was somehow here to help him, and but now I look back and I just think how prideful and how just not the right mindset that I had, and I just remember being quite mean to my trainer sometimes, in my desire to do what I thought was the right thing, and I have a lot of if I think about it too much, then I don't get too happy about it. But overall, it was a great experience. I still remember my first Sunday out in the field. So back home, on the mission, you're knocking on doors. All of that can be very intimidating at first, but you just try to push through it. Try to be faithful and excited about the work. And you meet mean people. You meet people who are happy to meet you. But on that particular Sunday, the first Sunday, right after church, we were out knocking doors in the heat of the sun, super hot. Nobody's answering the door. And the people who do are quite grumpy, and I feel sorry for knocking on their door on a Sunday afternoon, And I was thinking to myself, what am I doing here? Because usually on a Sunday after church, I'm used to going home, eating a good meal, and then getting knocked out, just taking a nap. But I was out here knocking on doors and not having a very, good time. And so I just remember feeling very, very discouraged and very just feeling like I didn't belong here. And it was hard. I can't remember exactly what happened, though. I'd have to look at my journal entry, but I just remember praying for help, praying that someone, I don't know, praying for something. I didn't really know what I wanted, but I remember there wasn't anything particularly big that happened, but from that point on, kind of people seemed to be more receptive. They at least accepted our cards, the pass along cards that we tried to give them, and people were very nice. I remember also that entire first two transfers, I was listening to this CD by a group called Eclipse. They were a cappella group singing like gospel versions, their versions of gospel songs, and listening to that and being in a very beautiful part of California. I was in Yorba Linda, just very, very nice. There's horse trails, forests, and just being there looking back now, I can see that the Lord really blessed me a lot to be able to be in that area. It was an amazing ward as well. The members were so supportive. They were always feeding us. They were giving us pie and lobster and like pasta. And it was amazing, steak. Like it was an amazing ward, and I was very blessed to be in that ward, and so it helped soothe the transition into the mission field. So